Hi, everybody. This is Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and Geo Collaborate. It's Monday, July 14th, 2025. This update's for the All Hazards Consortium, the sensitive information sharing environment. We share information across platforms from state emergency operations centers and their private sector liaisons to owner and operators in the private sector so we can give them more information when it comes to moving utility trucks across the nation to restore power and all sorts of stuff like that. Well, the National Hurricane Center is watching this area. We are watching this area in the Atlantic Ocean just off the Florida coast that looks like it has a chance of developing into a tropical system. Right now, it's just an area of disturbed weather, but you can see some sort of circulation with it and some thunderstorms that are coming up just off the coast. This is the circulation that I'm talking about, and you can see some bubbles. That means thunderstorms erupting in the atmosphere around here. This is something that bears watching, and the National Hurricane Center may start to investigate it pretty soon. You can see, though, that some of the air that it's pushing inland is coming inland as a sea breeze front and kicking off some big thunderstorms. Those thunderstorms actually impacting, let's say Jacksonville or close to Jacksonville, Florida. They're moving very slowly, but slowly towards the west. And then in the central part of the state, we're seeing these thunderstorms form as well because of the convergence of different sea breeze fronts, perhaps coming in from the west coast and meeting on the east coast. But there's a lot of heat and humidity here. We get a lot of heating from the sun, heating the land. The air heats up. It's moist. It's unstable. So normally we get thunderstorms here, but this incident here off the coast of circulation is really enhancing that convection and causing some of this rain to be pretty heavy. You can see some of the clouds moving off the coast, and they're moving to the west as well. This system, this low pressure area, is expected to move across the state over the next couple days, and then emerge in the Gulf. And that is where sea surface temperatures are very warm. You can see I have the sea surface temperature data turned on. You can move this over here just a little bit more. So we have plenty of warm water temperatures to fuel anything that may want to develop. So we know that everybody who lives along the Gulf Coast gets very nervous and concerned when a tropical system forms in the Gulf. Why? Because it really has nowhere to go but to make landfall. We just hope that if it does make landfall, it's just a rainstorm and it's not a tropical storm or a hurricane. But the Gulf water temperatures are conducive to any further development, and we'll see what happens. This is what it looks like on Geo Collaborate. I'm going to widen out here full screen and show you the area that the National Hurricane Center is concerned with. And that is this area right along the Gulf Coast down into the central parts of the Gulf as this area moves across Florida and in this location. The steering currents aren't strong, so we do have the opportunity for this to develop. The key question is, once it comes off of Florida, will it kind of curve and move up and towards the panhandle of Florida, at which time it really won't have a whole lot of time to intensify. But if it does stay in the Gulf a little bit further, then it has more time to intensify. And that is what we want to watch very closely. I'll get in here a little bit closer here and show you what the Hurricane Center is thinking. I'll click on this area because this is the area. It's a probability of development over the next 2 days is quite low, 20%. And look at the probability over the next 7 days, 30%. So not much higher, but we do want to watch this very closely. What are these things that I have displayed here? Well, these are called Argo floats, operated by Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute. These floats come up to the surface and report data. Then they sink down and down and down into the depths, gathering more information, and then they come back up and report their data. So as we click on this, we can see when the last time it reported, July 12th, when the next time it's expected to report, July 17th, with its treasure trove of data as it takes profiles of the Gulf. So this is a really important observing system as we monitor things that could be developing. These other devices are floating Lagrangian drifters. These float around in the currents and report back real-time weather conditions. We'll be watching these very closely as time goes on. And of course, we have the whole network of ocean observation platforms in the Gulf and in the Atlantic. That is all of these icons that you see, all of these buoys. There are observations very close to the coastline. These symbols out here are oil rigs. A lot of times they aren't reporting data, but some of the times they are. This one observation station owned by the FAA showing air temperature of 87, dew point 77, and the visibility of 8.7 nautical miles. We can watch and monitor some of these devices that are on some of these oil rigs as well. Seeing the winds here southeast at 12 knots. That's way off here off the Texas coast. So we have a lot of information that we're going to be monitoring, including these yellow lines here. These are gliders. This one owned by Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute. This is going up and down in the ocean off the southeast coast. So it's sampling information in the ocean, and we can link to much more data and information here as well by seeing all the profiles. I'm not going to do that right now because I have a lot to talk about, but needless to say, we're going to be watching this area of disturbed weather. It does show some low-level circulation, looks like in the cumulus field here, and not much in the way of outflow, maybe some to the southeast here, but we're going to be watching it. Certainly don't expect any development as it moves over the peninsula of Florida, but it will create storminess and perhaps some flash flood areas as rain intensities get 2 to sometimes 3 inches of rain per hour, where these heavy thunderstorms develop. Okay, I want to move up towards the mid-Atlantic here for a moment because once again, we have a lot of heat. We have a lot of humidity in the air. It's air that you can wear and something that is creating a great environment for a lot of showers and thunderstorms. And you can see them right here in the visible satellite image. This is NOAA's high resolution visible imagery every minute. Look at that bubbling in southern Pennsylvania. These are some big thunderstorms producing rainfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. And there have been flood warnings, flash flood warnings issued in parts of Pennsylvania. I'll show you that in just a moment as well as we get a little bit, dive in a little bit closer there. But these flash flood warnings are likely to continue during the day today into tonight because we have many more days or many more hours to go through of this thunderstorm activity. And you can see these thunderstorms extend all the way down through northern Virginia, approaching the Washington, D.C. area, down the Blue Ridge in eastern West Virginia. They'll be moving over into the Philadelphia area and into New Jersey. All the beaches right now are clear and beautiful. Lots of people vacationing at the beaches, but beware, thunderstorms will be moving towards you later this evening, so be aware of that. We've had additional folks struck by lightning in certain areas, some of them fishing because they did not take cover when a thunderstorm was around. But let me show you GeoCollaborate and what those flash flood warnings look like. Look at them all. In southern Pennsylvania, these three are in effect here. In northeastern Pennsylvania, anywhere you see these polygons, there are flash flood warnings in effect. As a matter of fact, let's go over to our updating storm watch system that's powered by GeoCollaborate and the National Weather Service and show you what it looks like. Here's a new one that was just issued in Delaware, New York, Sullivan, New York, and Wayne, Pennsylvania. That is this one right here. That was just issued, and it expires in 2 hours and 55 minutes. All these other ones, Lackawanna, Pennsylvania, Fairfield, Connecticut. You can see all these displayed on GeoCollaborate here. Bergen, New Jersey, Essex, New Jersey, Hudson, Passaic, Union, and Richmond, New York. That is this flood warning right here. That is going on and will expire in an hour and 40 minutes. Franklin, Massachusetts, Hampshire, Massachusetts, Hartford, Connecticut, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and York, Pennsylvania. That expires in 2 hours and 25 minutes. That is this area in southern Pennsylvania. Turn around, don't drown. Do not drive across any flooded roadways. In Pennsylvania, you have a lot of low crossings around pretty dry streams, but when you have rainfall falling at high rates, they become raging rivers that could be tearing away the road, and you'll never know it until you try to drive across it and your vehicle drops in that area. So Luzerne, Pennsylvania, Berkeley, West Virginia, Warren, Virginia, all these flash flood warnings have just been issued fairly recently because we have so much moisture in the atmosphere, and that is heading towards us. Now, I want to show you something which is a measurement of the actual blended total precipitable water. This is a product from NOAA. It is from the Office of Satellite and Product Operations. And I want to point out along the East Coast, look at this area. This is incredible moisture. Look at that being drawn up out of the Gulf and just being squeezed out. This whole area here is likely going to experience multiple flash flood warnings. We can watch the total precipitable water, how much moisture is in the atmosphere, how much can be wrung out if you just squeeze the atmosphere and you wring out all that moisture. This is an incredible amount that could cause widespread flooding all the way from southeastern Georgia, South Carolina, into North Carolina, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut. All of this moisture is overhead, and it just needs thunderstorms to help bring it out. So this is another satellite image and product that we use to determine how much moisture is in the atmosphere. And look at this. The whole East Coast, basically, eastern third of the country, is saturated with moisture. Look at this. These are flash flood warnings that I just talked about around Lancaster County, York County, and these thunderstorms are moving over the same area. That's what we call training. And that means that extended flash flood warnings could exist and widespread flash flooding. It is not recommended that anybody go outside in Lancaster and York counties where it's been raining so hard. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Even looking to the south, approaching Washington, D.C., we have a line of showers, not severe warned. They are not severe thunderstorms as of yet, but they do have very heavy rain showers associated with them. Look, there's even a flash flood warning here south of Front Royal with this thunderstorm that came across and is now leaving the area, but it's still draining into those watersheds and causing flash flooding. We have a lot more of this activity to go through, and there are plenty of alerts going on around the country. Lots of severe thunderstorm alerts and flash flood ones. I'll show you the New Jersey and New York one very quickly. This is a lot of heavy rain. Thunderstorms even look like a period perhaps of some hail near Elmsford and White Plains, approaching White Plains in New York. This is the area, this line of thunderstorms and heavy rain is what's causing that flash flood warning to be issued. North of Stamford, so nothing happened in Stamford right now. Greenwich, nothing happening there. But this is the area, Saddle River up towards Tarrytown and Mount Pleasant. Stay inside. Don't go outside because of all of this flooding. Here, I want to go out towards Texas and show you what's going on. The recovery efforts continue in Kerr County. That's the county that's just north of Bandera County. I'll point that out here with my cursor so you can see what it looks like. This is Kerr County right here. What I've done is I've enhanced the clouds to show where most of the convection is and the heavier showers and storms. It looks like right now they're getting a little bit of a break over the Guadalupe River, the western part of the Guadalupe River here, but we still have heavy rain falling. Fortunately, no thunderstorms at this moment. The thunderstorms are down here. Look at this in Mexico. The GLM, the Global Lightning Mapper from NOAA's High Resolution GOES satellite, 22,300 miles up, and we can monitor the lightning flashes. Really, really incredible. So hats off to Steve Goodman and his team there at NASA Marshall Space Flight Center. Really did a lot of great work developing that GLM sensor. But you can see these thunderstorms to the south. This is all moisture headed to the north very slowly. There's some thunderstorms over here. This looks like Gonzales County in Texas, where there could be some flash flooding about ready to take shape there. But over where the recovery and response efforts are going on along the Guadalupe River, rain has been persistent today, and we can go ahead and take a look at the radar there as well. Okay, here we go. This is the Texas radar. This is out of New Braunfels in Texas, near San Antonio. And there's that big thunderstorm in Gonzales County that was showing all of that lightning. As a matter of fact, look at this. You can see an outflow boundary. Look at that. I'll zoom into this. This is when the thunderstorm winds hit the ground and they start moving out. That's an outflow boundary, and it looks like it's going to collide with another outflow boundary from an old thunderstorm. So there may be some pretty big thunderstorms that form here around Seguin, Kingsbury, Fentress, and New Berlin here over the next 30 minutes or so. But here's the good news. I'm going to move over to Kerrville and Kerr County. Here is Kerr County, here's Kerrville, and you can see that a lot of the rain has diminished. So that is great news. Not raining right now in Kerrville. The rivers have probably come up a little bit because of the rain earlier today, but recovery efforts continue. All our thoughts and prayers are with the families who have suffered through this terrible flood that happened on July 4th. We keep monitoring Kerrville and Kerr County for any drastic weather that might be happening, because there are response crews on the ground there. Now I want to head west just for a moment, because we've had a big wildfire that has developed along the north rim of the Grand Canyon. There's been, just to let everybody know about just a general wildfire update, we've had 14 total new large wildfires, 36 incidents of large wildfires being suppressed right now, 848,000 acres burned so far. Now, there has been a new multi-state fuels and fire behavior advisory issued for central and southern Utah, the Arizona Strip, southwest Wyoming, and lower elevations of Colorado's western slope. This region is experiencing critically dry fuels, including grass, brush, pinyon, juniper. Recent wildfires have shown intense fire behavior and spread. These fuels are dry enough to ignite and carry fire easily, even from small sparks. So this is what I'm showing right now on the GOES satellite image. This is called the Dragon Bravo wildfire. You can see it right here. Look at this. This is 1 minute imagery. This is from the GOES West satellite. You can see the heat from the wildfire in this enhanced channel that I'm using here. So you can see what's going on. This is burning very intensely. This fire was started by lightning on July 4th, 2 miles west of the North Rim, Arizona, and is about 4,200 acres with 0% containment. The Grand Canyon Lodge is the only lodging inside the park at the North Rim, and unfortunately it was consumed by the flames. Park Superintendent Ed Keeble told park residents, staff, and others in a meeting Sunday morning that the visitor center, the gas station, a wastewater treatment plant, an administrative building, and some employee housing were among the 50 to 80 structures lost. Numerous historic cabins in the area were also destroyed. So this is a terrible fire that's burning here. Many of you may have gone to visit and maybe even stayed there at the Grand Canyon Lodge. What a tragic development there. We haven't heard of anybody hurt, so that is a great piece of news. But on satellite imagery, We can watch this burning live from 22,300 miles up. This is something that is 0% contained, so it will be burning for a while. This enhancement to the north is not smoke. They're clouds being formed, and some areas are just so dry, it's going to continue to burn until some efforts are put into this to put it out. But there's not a whole lot else around there other than these historic cabins, and it looks like right now they're gone. So that whole area is closed to everyone. This is what we call the fire enhanced channel here on the GOES satellite image. Okay, just looking around the rest of the country, you can see what's going on. There's the area that we're watching for potential tropical development, but you can also see a lot of colors on the map as well. These are fire red flag warnings here in Salt Lake City and all the surrounding counties west in western Utah, Nevada. This is a heat advisory in effect. There's also extreme heat warning in effect here in Northern California. That's this area in purple. Even up in Washington State, not only do we have heat advisories here, we have red flag warnings in effect as well in Eastern Oregon. Lightning is a big cause of wildfires, so we got to monitor that and see where the probability of lightning is. And I can turn on a layer here in GeoCollaborate to show you what it looks like for a lightning cast. And this lightning cast is highlighting areas where lightning is likely to strike. And wow, look at that. Let me turn off the Weather Service watches and advisories so you can see what's going on here. Look at all these areas. These are likelihood, high concentration of potential lightning strikes. And we can start here in the on the East Coast. Look at this from Florida. I'll zoom, move here all the way from Florida, Keys and Miami, all the way up to Central Florida. Jacksonville looks like you're okay right now because these storms have moved in. So you're okay. But look at this, all the way into southeastern Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, into Virginia, through central Maryland, northern Virginia, eastern Pennsylvania, up into New York, Massachusetts, and into Connecticut, including New York City, and on up into Maine. Look at this. The lightning strike probability right now is high in these purple areas here. So if you hear thunder, when thunder roars, go indoors. Even the very northern Maine, look at this, severe thunderstorm warning and a high likelihood of lightning strikes. This is a global product as well, at least where GOES East and West cover. So even in, look at this, just south of Hudson's Bay, we have the chance of lightning strikes. So this is what we want to show more and more frequently because we are seeing a number of people being struck by lightning and succumbing to their injuries, which is a terrible thing. Lightning strikes are preventable. If you see a storm around or you hear thunder, get indoors, not slowly, run indoors to a place of safety. And out west, we have that high probability of lightning strikes from eastern Idaho into southern Montana, into Wyoming, and all of these areas up and down the Colorado mountains here and eastern Wyoming. When lightning strikes, if it strikes a very dry area, it can set it on fire, and that's how many wildfires start. Look at Colorado here, the chances of lightning strikes over the next 90 minutes. Okay, so what does the forecast look like over the next couple of days? We'll take a look at this system that may become some sort of tropical entity. It isn't yet. The National Hurricane Center is thinking about investigating it. It's got to get an invest number, and then we'll be looking at it closer. 93L may be the next invest number. I haven't seen any evidence of it yet from official statements at the National Hurricane Center quite yet. But let's put this into motion. You can see the precipitation off the coast. And look at all this popping up and down the East Coast. No real big frontal system is kicking this off. It is just juicy in the atmosphere. very unstable air, very high dew points, a lot of humidity. And we get on the eastern edge of the mountains these lee low pressure systems that lead to the formation of these showers and thunderstorms. So let's put this into motion and we'll take it through into tomorrow afternoon. So you can see that over Florida, we do get some enhanced shower and thunderstorm activity. That is during the day tomorrow into the afternoon and into the early evening tomorrow night. And then as we continue on, you see that we get a little bit more of a concentration of precipitation on Wednesday in the Gulf. That's what we want to watch very closely to see if there are any thunderstorms that form around the center, if there is a center, what the recon aircraft may find. If the National Hurricane Center asks the 53rd Weather Squadron, which is the U.S. Air Force Reserve unit that's dedicated to penetrating these storms and flying around them and trying to find the center and the lowest pressure, that may happen over the next couple of days. But then look at this, as we get on into Wednesday evening, late afternoon, we have some sort of concentration of rain, perhaps a low pressure system. I wouldn't even call this a tropical storm, maybe just some sort of depression impacting southern Louisiana. That is the look, at least right now, from the GFS model. And then it continues to hang around. So I'm going to say for folks along the Gulf Coast, be very vigilant because we might not be talking about a strong tropical storm. It doesn't even look right now like a hurricane, thank goodness. But these tropical systems or these low pressure systems that are developing, that are starting to get some organization about them, are really prone to be flood producers, flash flood producers. If they hang around for more than 6 hours or 8 hours or 12 hours, we could be talking about persistent heavy rain. So I'm talking about New Orleans, Biloxi, Gulfport, even towards southwestern Louisiana. That is an area I would continue to watch and monitor very closely because if this system starts to spin up, it's going to have a lot of momentum with it. So it's going to take a lot to spin it down. And between the spin up and spin down, you might have 10, 15, 20 inches of rain. We're going to be watching this very, very closely. As this system tries to make its way across Florida, just as a disturbed area of weather, maybe a weak low pressure system, but we can see some signs and see some evidence that this thing is thinking about some sort of organization. Have some more thunderstorms around it just north of the Bahamas, and we'll be watching and monitoring any flash flooding across Florida. For the All Hazards Consortium, we want to make sure that you are very aware of any flash flooding or flash flood warnings that are issued. So we put this together for risks, flash flood risks to transportation and operations. When there's a flash flood watch, route planning is complicated by unpredictable conditions. Alert fatigue may reduce the urgency in operational responses. You know what that means. Oh, another flood watch. I'm not going to pay attention to that. I've got better things to do. Well, no, you don't. Pay attention to where those flood watches are. Some roads or bridges may be closed in advance, and there's uncertainty in asset positioning, and that will affect efficiency. All the active National Weather Service watches are listed here at the bottom. Look at those states that have active watches right now. Flash flood warnings. When you are transporting goods or services across the country, make sure you are monitoring flash flood warnings in your area. That means rapid road inundation can strand vehicles and halt movement. Fleet vehicles risk severe damage or loss in fast-moving water. Supply chain interruptions from impassable low-lying routes could develop, especially in states where you have low-lying roads that are coming across tiny little streams or even dry riverbeds. They're the ones that could be the biggest danger if a flash flood warning is issued. Employee travel during floods increases the liability and safety risks. If you think you're going to have flash flood or you have a flash flood watch, you may want to call in your employees early so they can get in there and be at work, and then keep them there until any flood danger has passed. Rerouting and delays inflate operational costs significantly. That is why you want to watch and pay attention to what's going on when it comes to flooding. So that's it for this update. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. We'll be back tomorrow with another update. We're monitoring this one here that wants to perhaps become something in the Gulf, and we'll be on top of it, watching it every second. Nothing is going to be a surprise here for us or for you because you're watching this channel. Thanks so much. Please watch out for yourself and watch out for your neighbors. They really do appreciate it, and they need you. We'll see you tomorrow.